I want to start off by thanking Prepper Nation. He came across my video yesterday and shared it. I've been subscribed to Prepper Nation for a while now. I just don't comment on many of his videos. I want to welcome all the new subscribers and the Beaverines out there. Welcome, welcome. Thank every one of you. Yesterday's video about don't quit. You know, I didn't expect it to do that good. Honestly, we only get 20 to maybe 50 views a video. Some of them get a little more, but we average 25 to 35 views. The reason I made that video is simple. There's something that happened when I was younger. We playing football. I went to a 1A school with 150 people, maybe 190. It fluctuated every year, right? We were playing a team that was a 4A school that had 500 or 600 kids. We go down there to their school to play them. We get off the bus, we go out onto the field and start doing our stretching and our, just normal pregame rituals. And the other coach walked down to our head coach and said, where's the rest of your team? He looked at that coach and said, I only brought what I needed. Well, right before the game, we got in our huddle after the stretching and everything, and our coach said, I want you to look down there. They've got 52 players dressed out. We've got 12. We had 13, but one was injured. So we dressed out 12 that night. He said, just do what we do. And that's all he said. We go out and we proceed to beat them by 2 touchdowns. We go to, after the game, we go into the end zone and do our little after-game huddle, and that other coach of the other team had his players on the opposite goal line making them run 100-yard sprints. And he kept yelling at them that you let a team with 12 players beat y'all. And that always stuck with me, because you're not supposed to win that situation, right? They had offense, defense, special teams. They had all of those players that nobody played both ways. We were playing both ways, and we beat them. And that always stuck with me. Let me make it very clear about something. It is okay, to quit a job and things like that, right? What I'm talking about is don't quit. Don't give up on yourself. Don't. I don't care if you're only getting 1 or 2 views a video. We have that situation here sometimes. Just keep putting it out. A lot of people that has been subscribed to me. I started this channel in 2020 during the pandemic. Actually, before it started, January of 2020. I started hearing rumors about what was going on, and I started making videos. Well, I made videos from 2020 through 2021. During that time, I lost my house. Life pretty much fell apart, right? I was left in just essentially an 8 by 12 storage shed that, I don't know how to explain it. It's kind of like the tiny homes, but it was an 8 by 12 that I owned. Converted it and lived in it, right, for about a year. But, during that time, I had hard times, and I was putting videos out pretty regular. And the reason I was doing them, I wasn't getting a lot of views. I had like 100 subscribers at that time. But it was like therapy. I was able to get out here and say what I need to say and talk to people, right? And I understand growing a channel. Some channels, they hit it off out of the ballpark, right? But a lot of these smaller channels, it is hard for them to get subscribers. The reason those videos aren't up there anymore, we got an email approximately sometime in 2021 that they started cracking down on the pandemic talk. Pretty much you had the choice of delete the videos or start getting strikes. Well, that whole year's worth of videos was about the pandemic, right? So I just deleted everything. We had over 300 videos. Well, then I took a year off and said, well, and people kept encouraging me, hey, get back on here, keep making videos. So I started it back up in 2022. Like I said, we had a couple hundred subscribers. We grew pretty good for a couple months, and then I started pushing, trying to hit 500 subscribers. And once I started pushing, my videos didn't get out no more, right? Well, it took us 6 months to hit 500. Yeah. January 2023, yep, we hit 500, and we have been growing steadily since then. With the sharing of the video Prepper Nation did yesterday, our channel has gained more subscribers than we have ever gained in a 24-hour period, and more comments, more likes, and things like that on the video. The whole point of yesterday's video is don't quit. It is perfectly okay if you have to sit down, take a deep breath, and rest, look around. You may have to go a different direction, right? But don't quit on yourself. That's the point of the video. You know, I don't care if you're getting 2 views or no views. You know, I understand it may be a way of your, you know, it calms you down to do a video, right? Or it's your way of therapy. You know, guys, we're not, you know, we're not a shock and awe channel. You know, I come on and give my opinion on things, and I love hearing other people's opinions on it. You know, I personally told you, I don't think a lot of the crap these people sell that you need. And number one, if you do need it, there's cheaper versions, or you can find it cheaper, you know, used or something like that. That's one thing our channel is. We're always looking for the deals because they're out there. I don't want you spending, you know, $100 on something that you can get for $10, maybe second hand, right? And it's still good and still works. One thing I will say, do not buy a used generator unless you are fully capable of working on that thing, right? Always buy new when it comes to a generator if you choose to buy a generator. Now, a lot of people, I couldn't believe the amount of responses that video got last night. I couldn't. I was at the football game. I was trying to answer everybody, and I'm sure I missed some, and if I did, I'm sorry. You know, it was, honestly, it's amazing. You know, and it goes to show, too, what I've been saying. A larger channel, you know, if they shout you out or help you in any way, right, it helps your channel. You know, and I'm thankful. I am 100% thankful for Prepper Nation. You know, he emailed me and him spoke, or I emailed back and spoke to him. So, you know, I'm thankful, and I want to welcome all the Beaverines. You know, there's a bunch of videos if y'all want to go back and watch them. Some of them ain't that good, you know. Some of them's not. I'm just going to tell you, they're low quality. I mean, I don't have the best equipment. I'm sitting here on a phone doing it, right? Because we're not trying to make a living doing this. You know, I like coming on here and interacting with people. You know, if you don't agree with what I say, that is perfectly fine. I like listening to other people's opinions on things, you know, but I'm allowed to have my opinion too, and you're allowed to have your opinion. The goal of this whole thing yesterday is never quit. Don't quit on yourself. Don't. We've all been in a situation where you could have, right? And another thing, if you've ever lost everything and you've had to build back, you know exactly what I'm talking about. You know, there's times there where you're like, this is too much, right? It's too much. But you kept pushing through, or you're still pushing through like we are. You're still pushing through, right? But the whole goal is don't quit. Don't quit on yourself, guys. Everybody stay safe out there. Keep prepping. Thank you, Prepper Nation. Welcome all the new subscribers, all the Beaverines. Guys, thank you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. Guys, keep your head on a swivel. Be aware of your surroundings at all times. Protect yourself and your family at all times. At that moment, you're the only person that can do it. And don't quit. Don't quit on yourself. Do not quit on yourself. Somebody out there is pulling for you. Something you always got to understand. Stay safe and keep prepping.